Have you ever asked yourself, where can I find the answers to my teaching questions? Because maybe, I don't know, I don't feel confident, or I need more resources, or I wonder, how do I teach that? I can't remember. Well, you know what? You're not alone. I'm Glory St. Germain from Ultimate Music Theory, and my very special guest today is Michelle Sisler from Music Ed Connect. And Michelle is about to reveal the big five on exactly how you can choose your own path in professional development and learn it your way, where, and when you want. Can't wait to have the big reveal here. And Michelle has a very special gift for you today as well. So thanks for joining us. That
Yeah,
sounds really exciting, Michelle. Welcome.
thank you, Glory. It's a pleasure to be here. Thanks for having us.
Absolutely. Michelle is the founder of Keys to Imagination and MusicEdConnect.com, and she frequently presents workshops all across the globe. In fact, Michelle and I are going to be hanging out at the MTNA conference in, I think we're going to Chicago, right? So that's coming
Yeah,
up in March. And she presents workshops around the globe. She's an active author of articles, music theory games, which of course is my passion too. So yay us, and technology curriculum. So Michelle, we all know about the importance of music education, and it's sometimes fun to get that backstory. So how did you get started with your musical journey in becoming a teacher?
well, it started when I was about one, like most of us. And I had a toy piano, and I would used to sit down and play songs by ear.
Oh,
And so
wow.
that's when my parents said, "Hey, there's something, she must have a talent and a love for music." So they enrolled me in piano lessons,
Yeah.
and the rest is kind of history.
Yeah.
And I've been teaching now for almost 20 years, which is hard to believe since I'm only 21.
Yes. Well, it's funny, Michelle, that you said that, because I always say, oh, I've been teaching over 20 years, and I'm just going to stick with that, because I could say a bigger number, but let's just go
Yeah.
over 20 is really good. And I think as music teachers, and you could go ahead for our viewers, I want to say thanks for joining us today. Go ahead and put in the little chat box, how old were you when you started teaching? Or maybe you just want to reveal, how many years have you been teaching? So I want to give a little shout out. I see Alina Kaaba has joined us today. Hello. I think as music teachers, we love to learn, and we love to teach and continue with our own professional development. So perhaps we should just talk a little bit about, why did you create the Music Ed Connect online music teachers conference, Michelle?
Yeah, as a teacher, I know the value of these live conferences
Yeah.
and the sessions, and I really enjoy learning from them. But, time and travel is such a barrier
Yeah.
for people being able to benefit sometimes. So I had already established some connections with a lot of the presenters at MTNA and NCKP, a lot of them just from presenting with them.
Right.
And so I was able to partner with them and take this whole experience and deliver it online then.
Yeah, it is fantastic. Like, I'm so excited about the Music Ed Connect. I
Yeah.
know it's been around for a while, but I think this year is just gonna, 2020 is gonna blow them out of the water for sure. And I think, as teachers, we've got a lot of options: taking courses, traveling to live events, attending webinars, getting a private coach, in which all of those are really important to our continued education and to really, keep us motivated. But you've really created a new path of options with this being an international online conference, because sometimes we think, oh, well, that conference is in, maybe Australia, or that one is in the US, or that one's in the UK. And it's so cool, because everything is global now, that you can say, this is the conference that, as you say, Michelle, comes to you. So can you tell us about how the Music Ed Connect conference works?
Absolutely. Yeah. You mentioned that we were around for a little while. This is actually going to be our 7th year.
Wow.
And there are 30 sessions offered for the 2020 conference. And one of the cool things about doing this online is you don't have to pick and choose from all these things happening at the same time. You can attend them all.
Right.
Some of the sessions are presented in real time, so you can attend live and interact with the presenters and ask questions and things like that. But those sessions are also recorded. And so even if you don't attend live, you can still see the sessions at any time,
Mhm.
and you can watch them or rewatch them. And then in addition to that, we have lots of on-demand videos as well. So all of the videos can be accessed for an entire year on our website. And this year, as Gloria mentioned, we have these paths, and you can register for a specific path if you're just interested in one area, or you can get a full access pass and see all 30 sessions.
Yeah, it's absolutely amazing. And, when you think about the opportunity, sometimes they think you don't even realize what you can do with that to advance your own professional development, your own music studio, your own teaching, until you actually attend something. And then you say, oh, I never really thought about that. And I know that you have a gift for us, for everyone that's out there watching us and watching the replay as well. But before we talk about the present that you have for everyone, let's talk about how to choose your own path and reveal the big five. It's time, Michelle. So let's start with the number one. So the first one is pedagogy and performance path. And one challenge that piano teachers often face is how to develop, and I think there's not any of us that don't need to look at this, right? It's how to develop a great technical foundation with students. They all have different learning styles and abilities, how to help them build confidence, whether it's in performing or improvising, composing. Sometimes even as teachers, we're not really sure about that. So who are the experts that are going to be available to us to answer those questions, Michelle?
We are so excited. It's so fun to partner with these people that I feel like are the people we look up to get those answers. And so we have Fred Karpoff, and he is helping us learn about technique. This year, he happens to be doing a session on establishing great technique from the beginning, so with those young beginners. Bradley Sawash, we all know him as improv and jazz, right? And he's helping prepare pianists for jazz band. Carol Matz, she of course is well known for composing and writing, and she is going to help teachers compose, which is really cool. Dr. Christopher Madden is doing a session on baby boomers and how that is an increasing segment of our studio. Thomas Lanners he's always got some humor in his sessions. So I'm sure this will be really fun, but finding imaginative ways to illustrate any concept. And then, Arthur and George are doing the Unknown Clementi Sonatinas. And then we have a couple of sessions. Now, women composers have been kind of a hot topic lately. And so we have a couple of sessions that I think you'll really enjoy. George Litterst and Stella Sick have done a couple of sessions in the past where they tell about music history, and you feel like you're in story time. It is so cool. So they have come up with session number 3, and this one is about women composers.
Nice.
And then we have Lynn doing a session on repertoire swaps, so swapping out pieces by women composers instead of the traditional men composers. So, lots of cool things going on.
That's going to be so much fun. I can't wait to watch all of them myself. So our big reveal number 2 is group teaching path. And this really sounds like a great idea. Now, I know for myself, I love teaching group lessons in music for young children for over 20 years, and also teaching Ultimate Music Theory Club classes in our UT Club classes. But teaching group lessons also comes with challenges, as we know. So what are perhaps some of the challenges and the solutions that are going to be covered on the MusicEdConnect online?
Yeah, Deborah Perez is actually going to lead up this track for us. And Deborah is known for her group lessons. And so there are many concerns for teachers moving from solo lessons to group lessons. And a lot of teachers want to keep their private lessons, and they might want to add group lessons as just a once a month thing, or they might want to teach full-time group lessons. And so Deborah and her team will address things like from parents, how do I help parents and the new parents I'm talking to understand the benefits of the group? Why is group really cool for that? What curriculum do I use? What is available for all these different ages? Working with adult students. You might see other teachers building their adult group studios and their programs, but boy, how do I recruit them and how do I retain them? And my favorite, classroom management. What do I do if kids misbehave? What do I do if teens won't even look at me during the class?
Yeah.
And, maybe how do I handle a student that's trying to control the group? So
Yeah.
all of these important things
Wow.
that come up with just during the lessons. And then she also has information on recitals.
Nice.
So how, these students are learning as a group, but then how do I structure a recital? Do they play solos? Do they play in groups?
Right.
What other performance opportunities are there that they might enjoy?
Yeah, that's going to be a fantastic session. I
Yeah.
mean, just, what you were just saying, Michelle, like I can relate to all of that because sometimes you have, the student who is, 100% there and is so excited, and the parent maybe is not as supportive. And so it really is not just that we're teaching the child, but we're teaching the parent. And then
Mhm.
another choice that you have to make is, do you want parents to stay for the class, or do you just want the student there by themselves? And so there's lots to talk about when it comes to
There
group
it
lessons,
is.
for sure.
And that's how
So
we've made a whole track of it.
yes, thank goodness. I'll be definitely watching those. I'm always interested because I think, for me personally, I think it's really fun to do both. Like I love teaching group, but I also enjoy the one-on-one time that I have with my private students because not everyone can maybe fit into your schedule when you're mapping out your schedule. But when they do see the benefits of the group, sometimes they're willing to go, okay, you know what, we can move our swimming lessons to Tuesday. And so we can come to the group class on Wednesday. So I think showing them the value is
Mhm.
really, really effective to,
Absolutely.
to filling your class. So number three, this is a great one, Michelle. So off the bench and technology path. Now, this one sounds really interesting to me because when we think about teaching piano, we think about sitting still on the piano bench and focusing on our music and don't do the wiggle, wiggle, wiggle thing. So now we're just talking about the other thing. So, where do off the bench and technology fit into a music lesson?
Yeah, off the bench time really could mean different things to different teachers. It could mean doing an activity with a student off the bench, like literally going onto the floor or onto a table to play a game.
Yeah.
It could mean lab time. All of my students have a half-hour lesson and then they
Mhm.
do a half-hour lab time. And
Right.
during that lab time, they're working on technology. And
Yeah.
so this track is really inclusive of various ideas that are not related directly to sitting on the bench.
Mhm.
It could be games, it could be incentive programs, it could be getting your students to practice, it could be technology to use to help them during that lesson, but also on that off the bench tech time during that lab time. And some of the cool things that are going to be in our tech track are things like silent movie projects and digital
Ooh.
scores. And yes, it's going to be some really cool ideas
Yeah.
for new ideas in your studio.
Yeah. And I think that's really, in this day and age, we need to think about, well, when I was taking piano lessons, which is like, 100 years ago, things were as good as they could be at that time. But I think as educators now, if that's how we were taught, it doesn't mean that that's how we have to teach.
Mhm.
And if you are open to learning and being coachable, as I said, then you're going to help those students. And not only are you helping them with all those things that you're doing with them in your lab and so on, Michelle, is that you're also going to retain those students because they're
Mhm.
interested, right? Because they've got this off the bench stuff and they're learning all these different things about technology. So that's a great way to really maintain a good healthy studio, right?
Absolutely. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. And I think just advancing their skills and making them more confident in their skills, if
Yeah.
they feel like they can do it, they're more likely to continue.
Absolutely. One of my students who completed his grade 8 with me, he actually, moved all the way out west now, but he is now a music composer for gaming. And it's pretty cool because that was his passion. He always loved to just kind of noodle around and it's kind of the same thing you just said a second ago about silent movies. It's the same as games. Like you have to see a visual, or you think of any movies, you have to write and think and have that vision. So I think that might be a cool little exercise. I might just make sure to tune into that one because I could get my students to kind of watch a silent film and, and put some notes to it. That'd be fun.
Yeah. Penny's got some great ideas. I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, me too. So, number four, business path. Now, I am so glad to hear the word business because for many teachers who, are simply passionate about teaching don't always think of themselves as business owners.
Mhm.
And when you're a music teacher, well, guess what? The only way your business will survive, like any other, is if you, I call it TCB, actually stole that from Elvis Presley, but taking care of business, right? So, what business savvy info will we hear about the business path, Michelle?
Absolutely. So I felt like this was something that's missing often from live conferences. And you're absolutely right. We forget sometimes we're business owners and we have to deal with that whole side of things. And
Yeah,
when we talk about business, it's not just, you know, doing your accounting. It's
yeah,
taking care of, as we talked a little bit about earlier, taking care of parents and things like that, communication.
yes.
And so this year, Angela and Davis will cover some ideas that will help us stay current
Yeah.
with our marketing, with the trends, communication with parents. Jennifer Fox has a really good session on the administration end of it. How can we make that easier? How can we work through some of those challenges? And
Mhm.
what are some solutions that work? And then Sarah Lingra, of course, is known for her online teaching. And she is going to be sharing tried and true experiences for how to find those students online. So growing our business into maybe not only teaching in our physical studio, but how can we expand that to find students online?
Yeah, that's really, really fantastic. I think one of my favorite things is just knowing that as music teachers, things have changed immensely in how we learn, how we can grow our business. I mean, it's truly, truly amazing. And those resources in the business path are going to be phenomenal. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I think the number 5 is probably my favorite one because it's inspiration from the industry. And honestly, what I love most about this path is that many years ago, BC, before computers, the only way to learn anything was from industry leaders, right? Was to either buy a book, go to college or university, or attend a live event. And that was it. And now with Music Ed Connect online conference, you can actually learn, you can be inspired by industry professionals that are just like you. These are, music teachers, these are educators, and they've developed these amazing products and technology and courses and apps. And, they're happy to share all of this with you in professional development. And I think that's absolutely key, Michelle. And I'm so glad that you have included this because learning from industry professionals, it really is key to our professional development and our growth. And I think also we can see, like, if you can do it, I can do it, right? So it gives us that little support. So Michelle, what can we expect from the inspiration industry path?
Yeah, you said it best. I remember before I was a business and a publisher, I would go to these conferences and I would spend time in the exhibit hall, and I learned so much from these people developing these products. I felt like they were the experts in
Yeah.
any given area. And so bringing that to Music Ed Connect was really important to me because not only can we learn about new products, new services, but we might find new people that
Yeah.
are like, wow, they inspire me to do better. I didn't know they could do this or that.
Yeah.
So bringing new ideas, new products, new services, and of course, tips and tricks.
Yes. And I think sometimes you really said it when you connect with these people, Music Ed Connect, when you connect, yeah, little pun there. When you connect with these people, sometimes they can truly help you not only in your teaching, but in your business because
So
maybe you want to create something and you don't even know where to start. And I speak from experience as you as a publisher. I remember thinking, oh, I'm going to write a book. I need to do this. It's inside me. So I'm an author. Okay, now what? Well, what's an ISBN number? I don't know. Well, how do you figure that out? How do you publish? So there's so many things that it's not just about, I'm going to teach piano, but you might say, you know what? I want to develop an app or I want to do this. So this is the hub. Like this is like going to university, like 30 sessions. Wow. I'm like, I can't wait to go and connect with all of them. And actually, I'm grateful to be part of Music Ed Connect conference. So thank you.
well,
Uh,
thank you for being here.
yeah, I'm going to be presenting an inspiring workshop on 3 master keys to teach music theory more effectively. And I actually have a gift for everyone inside of my presentation as well. So hopefully, as you're watching all of these amazing presenters, you'll also check out the Ultimate Music Theory presentation and go get your little present that I put in there. So thank you so much for developing this opportunity, Michelle, because it really is going to be fantastic. And how can teachers get registered?
All you have to do is go to MusicEdConnect.com and click on register.
Okay.
And then you can choose what path you want to attend, or you can attend all of this, the full access passes, all of them.
Right.
If you plan on attending live it's the end of January, 1st of February, you will get an email later in January with the links to join live. Otherwise, you can watch any of the sessions on demand starting in early February.
That'll be perfect. And I think one of the things you and I talked about, Michelle, before we went live on our conversation today was just about the importance of committing to your professional development. We shared how we're always learning from industry professionals as well and taking courses ourselves. And I think when you register for this course, think of it as you have become a student and block off this time to attend live. Or if it's impossible to attend live, then block off the time to say, okay, then I'm going to, every Friday morning from 8 in the morning until 10 for 2 hours, I'm just going to watch a session or two, and it'll really make such a difference in your life, I'm sure.
Absolutely, you have a great tip, and I would agree with that. And to go along with that, turn off your phone, turn off your email, and really engage.
Yes, actually, you're absolutely right. And I think too, sometimes if we leave too many tabs, it's squirrel and off we go somewhere else. So make sure to check it out. It's MusicEdConnect.com. It's an international conference that comes to you. Takes place entirely online. And so you don't have to spend any money going anywhere, traveling, doing anything like that. You can watch it from the comfort of your own home, along with your cup of coffee. And they have a fantastic lineup of international known presenters with amazing talents to share with you. So you definitely don't want to miss this. Now, you did mention you had a little gift for us today. So can you tell us about that, Michelle?
We do. We have $40 off for your viewers. So thank you for watching. And to say thank you, you will get $40 off a full access pass. Just head over to MusicEdConnect.com and put in the discount code UMT2020, and it will give you $40 off your pass.
Nice. So you just go to, and I'm going to pop that up on the screen. So it's MusicEdConnect.com. Coupon code UMT2020. So that's just $40 you made today just because you're hanging out with us. So that's a nice present. Thank you, Michelle. And thanks for joining me today. I'm really excited about attending Music Ed Connect to learn all the wonderful presenters and all the things that you're going to be sharing with us in the 5 pathways. And I look forward to attending as well as being a presenter there. So thank you.
Well, thank you for inviting me on today. This has been a fun conversation.
Yep, for sure. I look forward to seeing you then. Now, if you've enjoyed this video, be sure to like, comment, and share, and join our Ultimate Music Theory Facebook group, where you can network and connect with other musicians and educators such as Michelle. And if you want all the latest interviews and more music theory tips, just subscribe to our Ultimate Music Theory YouTube channel. We release new videos every week, and you will see this on the YouTube channel as well. So thanks again, Michelle.
Thank you.
Have a fantastic day, everyone.